This is a review of my 2 years of being a Class A CDL license holder. Alright, after receiving my Class A CDL, I did not go directly into trucking. I didn't have any plans on really doing it. I just was having it just to have it for just in case. My employer at the time was Amazon, and I worked at Amazon Air at one of their air hubs. And I just figured, well, after my 90 days of being employed, I might as well take advantage of their benefits. And one of the benefits was paying for school. So I went to trucking school, acquired my Class A CDL in September 29th, 2023 to be exact. And after things started getting a little dicey on the inside of Amazon Air, I said, oh, okay, they do have a trucking department, the TOM team. So I applied to be on the TOM team in November of 2023, and their first class, the first class of the year was January 2024. So that's when I officially started my trucking career, and I stayed with the TOM team for 8 months. I feel like the TOM team is a great place for a very new driver, or an aspiring driver. From my understanding, at least when I was employed there, you could be on the TOM team without a Class A CDL, but at some point you were required to obtain it, and they would pay for it. And as far as me, I didn't take their truck training. I went outside to a third party vendor, and they paid for it. So they paid for the classes, they paid for my physical, they paid for my background check for my hazmat, and they also paid for the license itself. I had to pay for one retake out of pocket, and that's because I've timed out on my maneuvers on my first try. I ran out of time. So I had to take the maneuvers and the road test. So I paid for that out of pocket. So Amazon is big. When I say big, ginormous on safety. Safety. Everything is about safety. Everything is safety. I received experience being a yard dog. I gained experience in like the logistics part, meaning I was able to check third party drivers in and out. I did yard audits, meaning I walked the truck yard, seeing what vehicles were there or not there, and keying it into the system. Amazon has great benefits as far as health and school benefits. They pay overtime. They pay holiday pay. So yeah, it's a good place for a new or aspiring driver. But after you gain your experience, it might, unless you like being told what to do or being treated like a child, then stay. With Amazon, they have inward and outward facing cameras, so you are being watched, monitored, graded at all times. You cannot use any electronic devices, so you can't wear a headset because you can't talk on the phone. So yeah, none of that. I moved on from Amazon to Schneider. I thought Schneider was going to be a little bit better. I stayed with Schneider 4 months. That's all I could give. That's all I had to give Schneider was 4 months. The training that I received at Schneider was great. Great experience. Once I moved to the dedicated account, that's when the tables turned on me. That's when it became a joke in my town. They punked me for sure. It's extremely low pay. It's extremely low pay. They don't pay overtime. For holidays, you only get $100 for the day. They do have insurance. You don't probably make enough really for real to have medical insurance. That's my opinion. The account I was on was the scrap metal account. Very, very dangerous, very nasty, very dirty. And upper management they gave zero cares. All they cared about was getting they freight, getting paid for their freight, and that's really all they cared about. They, as I said before, extremely low pay. 21, 25 when you are driving, and $20 when you are loading and unloading. You basically not driving. Most of the time you was, creeping through the yards, getting lined up. So it was only like probably 40 something minutes of actual driving, maybe an hour of driving. I probably said that wrong. Each load that was being picked up was only like an hour of driving. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was trash. It was utter trash. And $10 per load. And they planned on burning the clock. You get a 14-hour clock when you are an employee, not an owner operator. When you are an employee, it's like they got different sets of rules, and it's kind of like they can just maneuver their clock however they see to do it. Seem like so they burnt that clock. Your 14 hours, they took all of that pretty much every day. I worked 5, sometimes 6 days a week, and most of the time it was like 13 hours 55 minutes. Yeah, they milking it real bad, and I was stressed and angry. And I was just there pretty much for the experience. I only needed 4 months, and that's what I thought I needed was 4 months. And after my 4 months, I couldn't take no more Schneider, and I quit. All right, so I forgot to mention that with Schneider International, they have outward facing cameras, or at least when I was employed up until January of this year, 2025, they had outward facing cameras, but you were still not allowed to use cellular devices. So January of this year made my 1 year, and I left. I ain't have a plan or nothing, but for my sanity, I had to quit. So from January from mid-January to the beginning of June, I was unemployed. And I found another trucking job. So I ended up at another company, which is where I'm at now, and I've been here almost 4 months. Yeah, so I have a year and 4 months so far actual driving experience being a truck driver. Yes. So this job that I'm at right now, I work long hours. But the pay, for the most part, the pay matches the responsibility. I drive a 53-foot trailer. I drive a 53-foot box trailer, and I also drive a fuel truck, and I also pump fuel. So I do all of this in a day. I do all that in a day. So I pick up the 53-foot trailer at a drop yard that's loaded. It might be loaded or it might be empty, and I'll take it to a distribution center. Either they'll be unloading or they'll be loading with said trailer, and then I'll go bobtail and I'll pick up the fuel truck, and I'll take the fuel truck and I'll get the fuel truck filled up with fuel, and then I'll go to a distribution center and I'll fuel a fleet of vehicles. And then so I'll fuel for 4.5 hours, and then I'll leave there and bobtail to a distribution center, and I'll pick up a load, and I'll bring that load back with me to the drop yard, and then I'll be done for the day. And the pay matches the responsibility for what I do now. So my first 2 jobs I wasn't too crazy about, and this job so far has been pretty cool. I'm sure there is room for improvement with this job, but it is nowhere near as stressful at this point that at least my last job was. So I'm pretty pleased right now. And with the new company that I'm with, I have a lot of freedom, loads of freedom. I'm pretty much a contractor, or yeah, I guess that's what you would say. So I just have to come, show up, do my job, do it well, and that's all they care about, is you being safe and doing your job. No inward facing cameras, and I am allowed to use a cellular device as long as I have a headset on, because I can answer the phone from the headset. I do not have to touch the phone itself. So I figured I'd add this portion to the video. If you've made it thus far in the video, leave the word big truck in the comment section. I'm not for sure, like, if I could say, I would recommend people going out and getting a Class A CDL. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but in January I was like, nah, this is being a truck driver is utter trash, because the mega carriers, they don't want to pay their drivers, and the foreign companies come and undercut lowball loads. So now everybody wants to pay low load rates. So right now in the trucking industry, from what I can see, it's pretty much trash, unless you local. Yeah. So that's just my 2-year experience. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm gonna leave my semi-viral, at least it's viral on my channel, my yard jockey video, just in case you haven't seen it. I'll put it right here so you can see what I was doing when I was working at Amazon in this video right here. And until the next time we meet, remember to take life one bite at a time. Later.